I'm Joan Leem, the Dean of Graduate Studies, and I welcome all of you to the 2011 Convocation Graduate Awards Ceremony. I'd like to begin by introducing the stage party. On my immediate left is Chancellor J. Keith Motley. Next to him is Provost Winston Langley. And next to him is our student speaker, Jamie Kirsch. You'll hear a little bit more about Jamie shortly. And next to Jamie is Rita Nethersall, the Associate Dean of Graduate Studies. I'd like to begin this afternoon by inviting Chancellor Motley to give greetings from the university.
Good afternoon, everybody. Come on, you know, this is like getting you ready for the celebration tomorrow. Good afternoon, everybody. Now, I know I had two apple ciders before I came over here. So I'm a little pumped up. I know I'm a little more pumped up than the rest of you, but as Chancellor, I'm pleased to welcome you to your university. Welcome all of our guests to the University of Massachusetts, Boston. To the students, to the parents, to the loved ones, to the friends, to every one of you that are here today, thank you for joining us to honor the accomplishments of our recipients of advanced degrees. And to those recipients, congratulations. Don't you feel a little bit better now? I know you do. Remember, this is your day. You've been working hard for this day for a while now, and tomorrow will also be your day. It's going to be a beautiful day out here on this peninsula. I know the wind is blowing now. Some of you are concerned your hats might fly off. Here might be a little musty. I don't have to worry about that. But know that our hearts go out to those in Massachusetts and beyond that have had the challenge of tornadoes and all that we've seen over the last few days. We're so grateful that all of you are here with us. Our hearts go out to those individuals who lost loved ones, etc., and we look forward to being supportive. But we also look forward to tomorrow and being able to celebrate your day. You've earned the right to celebrate, so let's do that. Now, you all know that this university, the University of Massachusetts Boston, is a research university with a teaching soul. Let us pause to honor that soul by acknowledging our deans and our esteemed university faculty, both on the stage and in the audience. Please rise and be recognized. All the faculty, all the deans, all of you that are here. Now, all of you that are going to be receiving your degrees or other kinds of honors today are proof that our university is fulfilling its mission to provide an excellent education at this city's great public university. You're also a testament to your own hard work and also to your commitment and the strong support of this faculty and this staff and your peers. I've seen some of you working together during this process. Those relationships are unbelievable because they're going to last for the rest of your lives. Value that experience. Go forward together and make a tremendous difference. At this university, we develop and expand our reach, and we're going to be doing that over the next 15 years. Our graduate programs are going to be a crucial part of everything that we do. It's going to be a very important part of our growth. Judging from the diverse and the talent selection of students before me today, we'll be building excellence upon excellence, and so I'm so proud of that. I'm also so proud of the caliber of students our program attracts. And I'm also proud of your many and varied academic achievements on this campus. Your research, your scholarship bring acclaim to this university and help us deliver on our commitment to outreach and also our commitment to engagement. Truly, our graduate studies establish firmly the depth and the breadth of our authority in this city's great urban public research university. Because you chose to continue your studies with us, you had to know that you would be focusing not only inward on your own research, but outward towards initiatives and projects and ideas that will improve our communities and also go forward to improve this world. You had to know that you would be called upon not only to participate in our existing programs, but to support new opportunities that we could use to engage our neighbors and our neighborhoods. You had to know that you were studying and working in service of others, and that your scholarship and your outreach would touch the worlds of politics and public policy, the sciences, healthcare, education, management, arts, culture, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. And because you have spent this time with us, you are in position, graduates, holders of advanced degrees, not just to get a job, but to go forward and make a difference in this world. And as Chancellor, I encourage you to do so in a variety of ways that uniquely distinguish you as graduates of our great public university. We are incredibly proud of all you've achieved here at the University of Massachusetts, Boston, and we look forward to hearing about your future successes. I wish every one of you the very best in your continued studies and your life's work, and in all of your journeys. Know that this is your university. Know that you're always welcome here. Know that we love to hear from you and about you and the things that you're doing. Go forward and make a difference. Congratulations. I can't wait to see you up on that stage tomorrow. Thank you.
And now I'd like to invite, well, always a problem. Now I'd like to invite Provost Winston Langley to give greetings.
Thank you, Dean Lim, and good afternoon to all. Many are the things a provost could say today about you, the graduates, looking at the variety and apparent quality of your individual and collective achievements. Achievements for which your fellow graduates, your friends, your loved ones, parents, supporters, and yes, your professors and deans and you are to be commended. I commend you. I hope you'll permit me, however, to say that each of you represents a life story, and that each of your respective stories will find or has found patterns of self-renewal. It is my hope that your experiences with us have been part of those patterns, perhaps even a pronounced part of those patterns of self-renewal. That renewal should continue in your thinking and doing, in your refusing to be but what lawyers call a domiciliary that is, a dweller, and insisting on being a citizen of your family, your town, your city, your state, your country, and the world. And that in that citizenship, refusing to be one who conforms to the fears and suspicion concerning the Irish, the Jews, Catholics, women, gays, Chinese, blacks, Asian Americans, Muslims, Latinas, Native Americans, the poor, and the disabled. As citizens also, may you be skeptical about the sweetness of life, which is the offspring of what has come to be called the good of my family, our shareholders, or the return to things as usual, be they banking after a crisis, policymakers, policymaking, national security, energy security, climate change, all of which threaten human well-being. May you, in your life story to come, find fulfillment and nobility in service to others, in a long and fruitful life, which, as the Chancellor said, will include the University of Massachusetts, Boston. And may you embody within yourself the consciousness that there is always an intimate relationship between the moments of your time and the centuries of humanity, as well as the integrity of the ecological system which we co-inhabit. Congratulations to you.
Graduates, family members and friends, esteemed faculty colleagues, Chancellor Motley, Provost Langley, and members of the stage party, I welcome you again to the 2011 Graduate Convocation Awards ceremony and look forward to sharing with you a small sample of the many achievements of the graduate students we honor this afternoon. Those of you that will be graduating tomorrow have obtained your degrees from 10 doctoral programs and from over 50 master's, certificates of advanced graduate studies, or educational specialist programs. This year, we're awarding 46 doctoral degrees, 1,087 master's degrees, and 114 postmaster's certificates. You've come from the greater Boston area, from across the United States, and from 61 countries across the globe. If we've done our jobs right, the education you've received has exposed you to new ideas, enhanced critical thinking and writing skills, new research methodologies, new leadership skills, and differing worldviews. We hope your time with us has challenged you to form theories about and approaches to your work that you will carry with you into your future studies and careers. Many of you have followed atypical paths to graduate school. While some of you came to us immediately upon completing your undergraduate work, some of you even did that undergraduate work here, many more of you arrived at our door after years of working in and serving your communities. One of you returned to physics after a period of disillusionment, followed by the decision to serve your community as a high school teacher. One of you came to biology only after authoring 3 books of fiction and writing poetry for a time. Another joined the Master of Science in Accounting program after serving as a biology researcher at the Dana-Farber and Brigham and Women's Hospital and co-authoring 9 publications in that capacity. We also have in the audience a teacher of English from Moscow who joined our American Studies program and has written about the meaning that Hollywood took on in the early 1900s when the American film industry moved to Los Angeles. In addition to her scholarly work, she's also produced a prize-winning video entitled My UMass that answers the question, what makes UMass special? One of you has come to mental health counseling after an undergraduate degree in business administration, and another studied theater arts and spent time with local youth tackling difficult teenage issues using your arts education before becoming a rehabilitation counselor. Yet another one of you got a Bachelor of Science in Aerospace Engineering and a Master of Science in Space Studies before doing exemplary work in our master's program in Historical Archaeology. Many of you have come to UMass Boston after years of public service working on environmental, health, aging, and education issues. You'll be hearing a little later from our student speaker who joined the master's program in conflict resolution after 2 tours of duty in Kuwait and Iraq. These are not your typical paths to graduate school, but they are exactly the paths that make the graduate students at UMass Boston such wonderful students to teach, and make classes at UMass Boston full of rich exchanges grounded in that perfect mix of rigorous analysis guided by theory and attention to practical applications in real-world contexts. As in past years, some of you pursued your graduate studies while serving the university as employees. A wonderful example of this is one of our first Doctor of Nursing practice graduates, Pat Hallen, who has served ably as the Director of General Medicine at the University Health Services for over 8 years. Pat's final project focuses on how to improve early identification, diagnosis, and treatment of students with depression in an urban university health setting. Others of you have gotten your graduate degree while serving the university in college and central administrative offices across the campus. We thank you for your commitment to advancing your knowledge and skills as employees and to your tireless service to the university. We take great pride in the academic research of our graduates, much of which I would describe as representing the best in socially responsive and community-engaged scholarship. You will hear the varied titles of the research conducted by our doctoral students shortly as they're hooded by their mentors. But let me give you an example of just one of these students and what she's been involved in during her time with us. Amelia DeForce, who has studied archaeodiversity and its potential function in soil ecosystems, did most of the field research for her dissertation in 3 tropical forest sites in Costa Rica. During her PhD work, she also went to the bottom of the ocean twice, once to study deep-sea vents in the Pacific Ocean along the East Pacific Rise, and once to study oil seeps in the Guaymas Basin located in the Gulf of California. Both descents were in the Alvin, the deep-sea submersible used in the discovery of the shipwrecked Titanic. On one of these cruises, as part of an NSF fellowship, Amelia communicated about the daily activities on board the Alvin with 5th grade students at the Sarah Greenwood Middle School. She created a website with pictures, movies, and lesson plans that the teachers and students at the middle school could access. Amelia is a wonderful example of a scholar teacher who took the time while doing her own research to contribute to the education of others. And there are 45 other students like Amelia waiting to be hooded today. The scholarship of our master's students is also outstanding and richly diverse. For example, this year the winner of the Maxwell J. Schleifer Memorial Prize for the best master's thesis on a child clinical topic, Sarah Gray, has conducted research on the relation between early emerging behavioral problems in preschoolers and children and their implications for reading capabilities in 2nd grade. Her work has important implications for early behavioral screenings and interventions that may help set at-risk children on a path of greater academic success. The winner of the Creative Writing Award for Outstanding Achievement, John Pappas, has written a Master's of Fine Arts thesis of a very different nature. It is described by his program as, quote, bursting the doors of perception with nonstop imagery and unrestrainable verbal music. John's thesis explores the nature of gender identity and subjective reality through the adventures of characters that spend a night exploring the city and each other in a series of vignettes that are shocking, funny, mind-bending, philosophical, and tender. A great deal of additional research has been done by members of the audience on such topics as homelessness, sustainable educational development in Africa, the development of environmentally friendlier synthetic methods for producing chemicals and bioactive compounds in ways that do not contribute to environmental pollution, the role the Black church is playing in providing support that serves to buffer the effects of racist experiences on anxiety, and how the literature focused on Somalia's civil war not only charts the breakdown of social order, but also imagines new forms of community building in the absence of state power. And that's only a small sampling. Of course, these are only a few of the many outstanding contributions our graduate students have made, not only to the body of knowledge in their academic disciplines, but also to the resolution of critical social issues that challenge all of us. A commitment to socially responsible and community-engaged scholarship is one of the core values of our university, and it's wonderful to see it so clearly evident in the outstanding and varied work of our graduate students. You've also proven yourselves to be excellent teachers, both here at UMass Boston, in our public elementary and secondary schools, and in our community and state colleges. One of you has brought your love of literature into the classroom at UMass Boston as a highly respected teacher of the art of fiction, while another of you has done this while teaching language arts at a community middle school. Many of you have served as outstanding teaching assistants and as primary instructors in a wide array of undergraduate courses. One of you has served as a lab instructor for the Bridges program, designed to help community college students transition to UMass Boston science programs. Another of you has helped set up a new research lab and train the undergraduates working in it. And others of you have served as research mentors to undergraduate honors students in your departments. A wonderful example of your contributions to teaching can be found in the work of the recipient of the Berthoff Prize for Excellence in Composition Studies. Offering an insightful analysis of composition's rich definition of reading as dialogue, Greg Johns has shown how computer science instruction might benefit from helping students see reading as an activity of transaction, engagement, and experience. By bringing his sophisticated understanding of reading into the computer science classroom, Greg's final project offers an exciting model of how to create dialogue between two seemingly different fields of study. A nursing graduate student, Gail Alexander, has used her excellent clinical simulation skills in the education of UMass undergraduate nursing students and has published a peer-reviewed paper on the use of simulation in nursing education, making her expertise available to a wide audience of educators. Our undergraduates have benefited greatly from those of you that have taught in our classrooms, and we are proud that we're sending many of you off to educate the next generation of UMass students in our public schools. You've also provided extensive professional, community, and university service. In spite of the demanding nature of your academic programs, you've found time to participate in activities such as the Walk for Hunger and Friday night suppers for low-income families. You've done volunteer work through Boston Cares and have done research on the effects of jointly volunteering on couples' relationship qualities. You have participated in America Speaks, coordinating discussions on race and class in classrooms. You've helped conduct Boston's annual homeless census and have facilitated roundtable discussions in Breaking the Cycle of Violence, a youth violence reduction initiative. You've organized discussion groups with fellow students to expand the learning experience beyond the classroom and have sponsored intercultural dialogues aimed at increasing understanding between university students from different cultural groups. You've coordinated Word Jam, an after-school creative writing program partnering English MA and MFA students with branches of the Boston Public Library designated as community learning sites. You've designed and offered early assessment, intervention, and counseling programs in schools and community health centers, and have helped students with visual impairments and other disabilities succeed at school and at work. You've served on the Governor's Commission on the Employment of People with Disabilities and as a president of an historical society. You've provided your marketing expertise to the Marblehead School of Ballet and have served as financial advisors and annuity specialists and international business experts. You've used your instructional design skills in your professional positions to develop and deliver high-quality training and workplace education. And you have also helped your graduate programs recruit, orient, mentor incoming students and collect data they've needed for national accreditation processes while also writing peer-reviewed journal articles and making presentations at professional conferences. These examples of your many contributions should help explain why you have sometimes felt tired and have sometimes had moments when you've asked yourself if you would ever finish your degree and arrive at this day. But you have arrived at this day, and you've done it while remaining the unique individuals that you are. You've found time to practice yoga, do zip lining, rappelling, scuba diving, rollerblading, hiking, backpacking, and rock climbing. You've managed to write music, poetry, and fiction, to dance and to perform in bands. You have found time to travel the world and to take on causes that matter to you. You have done all this while being loving parents, great friends, and great cooks. But you haven't done it all alone. To those of you who share this day with our graduates, parents, spouses, partners, children, extended family members, and friends, thank you on behalf of UMass Boston for your dedication to the success of our students. Graduates, please join me in applauding your family and friends and thanking them for their support. I would like to ask you once again to thank your professors as well, whose wisdom and commitment to your intellectual growth has helped to bring you to this day. Please join me again in congratulating your professors. As you leave us tomorrow, leave with confidence, knowing that your professors have worked hard to produce and to nurture independent, humane, and courageous minds ready to meet any challenge. Whether we have taught you about the complexities of state policies or the intricacies of international conflict, or about how to appreciate the connections between Herman Melville and Emily Dickinson, or about the implications of cell signaling for organism development, or about the relation between the suppression of emotion and the experience of anxiety, what we believe we have taught you best is how to learn and how to produce new knowledge, because these are the fundamental lessons that will stay with you always. We hope that in the years to come, you'll think back fondly about your time at UMass Boston, forgetting those tired, weary moments, as you move forward to embrace the future. We hope that you'll be good ambassadors for the university in whatever you do and wherever you do it. And as you enter this next phase of your life, please carry with you two brief pieces of advice. The first is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, quote, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." And the second is from Confucius. It is simply, wherever you go, go with all your heart. My congratulations to all of you. Provost Langley, it is now my pleasure to present the candidates for doctoral degrees. The doctoral candidates will be presented in the order of their colleges. Please hold your applause until the candidates have been presented by their respective deans. Will Felicia Wilinski, Dean of the Wilczynski, Dean of the College of Education and Human Development, please come forward to present the 12 candidates for the Doctor of Education degree.
Sandra Lee Blanchette, advisor, John Saltmarsh. Her dissertation title was Space and Power in the Ivory Tower, Decision-Making in Public Higher Education. Paul DeFrancisco. His advisor is Dwight Giles, and his dissertation was entitled The Role of Situated Learning in Experiential Education, an ethnographic study of the knowledge construction process of pharmacy students during their clinical rotations. Susan Espinoza. Her advisor was Tricia Kress, and her dissertation was Beyond Resiliency, Using Youth Participatory Action Research to Examine Alternative Education and Identity in a High-Poverty Town. Andrea Gankars, whose advisor is Caitlin Cesalini. Her dissertation, Career Change Experiences of Former Full-Time Dental Hygiene Clinicians to the Community College Full-Time Faculty Role, a Phenomenological Study. Winifred Hagen. Her advisor is John Saltmarsh, and her dissertation, Massachusetts NCATE and Early Childhood Accredited Bachelor Degree Programs, Responding to Teacher Preparation Needs in the Field of Early Education and Care. William Heinemann, advisor JD, and his dissertation was The Role of Data in Decision-Making About Online Distance Education, a case study of 3 community colleges. Diane Kelly, advisor Jack Leonard, and her dissertation, In Students' Words, The Development of Student Attitudes Towards Mathematics, a Social Perspective. Sheila Cuxtis, her dissertation advisor, Denise Patman, and her dissertation was entitled An Exploratory Survey of Enrollment Decisions of Parents and Guardians in 4 Catholic Urban Elementary Schools in Greater Boston. Maura Morse. Her dissertation advisor is Donna DeJaneiro, and her dissertation was titled A Critical Consideration of Co-Teachers' Interpretation of 21st Century Skills in Global Education. Kathleen Marie Neville. Her advisor is Tara Parker, and her dissertation was entitled the individual and shared meanings students make of their diverse interaction with African American faculty, a phenomenological study. And last but not least, Kelly Silver, whose advisor was Tricia Kress, and dissertation entitled Inverse Operations, a grade 8 mathematics teacher's response to the achievement gap.
Will Dean Donna Kaisinga, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, please come forward to present the 10 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
All of these degrees are in clinical psychology. Heidi Barrett Model, her advisor is Professor Liz Romer. Her dissertation title, Understanding Revictimization, the Impact of Emotion Suppression, Acceptance, and PTSD Symptomology on Risk Detection Abilities in Sexual Assault Survivors. Stephanie Carol Day, her advisor, Professor Karen Suimoto. Dissertation title, Adopted Korean Women, the Influence of Becoming a First-Time Biological Mother on the Negotiation of Racial Identities, Ethnic Identities, and Cultural Orientations. Shannon M. Erisman, her advisor, Professor Liz Romer. Dissertation title, Psychosis Proneness, Mindfulness, and Positive Emotional Experience, Examining Correlational and Causal Relationships. Meredith Evans, her advisor, Professor Michael Milburn. Dissertation title, Unattainable Beauty, an analysis of the role of body shame and self-objectification in hopelessness depression among college-age women. Carolyn A. Green, her advisor, Professor Laurel Wainwright. Dissertation topic, the role of control beliefs and coping in the relationship between socioeconomic status and health. Christy L. Klein, her dissertation advisor, Professor Paul Nestor. The title, Neuropsychological and Personality Predictors of Competence to Stand Trial, a Social Cognitive Perspective. Patricia Happy Lee, her advisor, Professor Jane Adams. Her dissertation, Coping with Acquired Brain Injury Through an Asian American Lens, Interrelationships Between Collectivistic Coping and Psychosocial Outcomes. Michael J.D. Rolock, his advisor, Professor Joan Leem, his dissertation title, Couples Joint Activity and Perceived Relationship Quality, Exploring Comparative Effects of Joint Community Service as Opposed to Play. Catherine Rose Betta-Toman. Her dissertation advisor, Professor Alice Carter, could not be here because her own daughter is graduating this afternoon, and she will be hooded by Professor Karen Suimoto. Her dissertation title, Developing an Anti-Racist Stance, How White Youth Understand Structural Racism. Lindsay Michelle West, dissertation advisor, Professor Liz Romer. The title, Functioning in the Face of Racism and Its Uncertainties, the Potential Buffering Effects of Values Clarification and Values Consistency in a Black American Sample.
Will Greer Glazer, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, please come forward to present 3 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree and 2 candidates for the Doctor of Nursing Practice degree.
I just want to say that this is the first time we'll be graduating Doctor of Nursing Practice graduates. This is a new degree in nursing, and it's the highest level degree for practice. Charles Alexander, PhD, dissertation title, The Rhode Island Medical Marijuana Program, an exploratory study. His advisor is Dr. Jacqueline Fawcett. Ann Naomi Woolrich Baxter. This is a Doctor of Nursing Practice. Her advisor is Dr. Margaret McAllister. Her capstone title is Nurse Practitioner's Attitudes, Confidence, and Accuracy in the Identification of Suspicious Skin Lesions, a test of the BSCT education module. Patricia Ann Hallen. This is a test for you, if you remember the title. It's a Doctor of Nursing Practice. Her capstone title was Improving Depression Screening, Diagnosis, and Treatment in a Diverse Urban University Health Service. Her advisor is Dr. Eileen Stewart-Shore. Kathleen Patricia Hickson. This is a PhD in nursing. Her advisor is Dr. Laura Heyman. Her dissertation title is The Relationship Between Distance to Care and Readmission for Reintervention Following Lower Extremity Arterial Bypass in Exploratory Study.
Will Stephen Crosby, Dean of the McCormick Graduate School of Policy Studies, please come forward to present 7 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree?
Emma Chung, Gerontology, the effects of childbearing patterns on the timing of retirement, advisor Maximilian Simovich. She gets 2 PhDs. Jennifer Cohen, Public Policy, Knots of Knowledge, How Community-Based Organizations Advance Social Change, Donna Haig Friedman, her advisor. Berna Karaman, Youth Employment and Unemployment in Developing Countries, Macro Challenges with Micro Perspectives. She had 2 advisors, Alan Clayton Matthews and Donna Haig Friedman. She's robed by Donna Haig Friedman. Make that hooded. Rebecca Morrill, Public Policy, Alignment of Community Preferences, Economic Development Goals and Policy, Considering Economic Development Goals, Their Expression and Their Execution in Economically Struggling Communities. Advisor, David Turkla. Kimberly Ann Puhala, Legal Experiences of Women Survivors of Domestic Violence, a Need for Policies that Address the Justice Gap. Advisor, Randy Albelda. Shelley Tinkham, The Value of Getting Out, The Impact of School Leaders' International Experiences, Advisor, Mary Stevenson. And Andrea Tull, Gerontology, Analysis of Retirement Risk within Massachusetts State Agencies and Use of Post-Retirement Contracting as a Workforce Planning Tool. Advisors, Ellen Bruce and Frank Perrell.
Will Andrew Gosowski, Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, please come forward to present 10 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree?
Good afternoon. Dmitry Borkin, please. Dmitry is a graduate in chemistry, green chemistry. His dissertation title is Synthesis of Heterocyclic and Organofluorine Compounds and Their Biological Applications. Advisor, Professor Bela Turak. Elizabeth Boyle, degree in environmental biology, PhD in environmental biology. Dissertation title is Evolutionary Patterns in Deep Sea Mollusks. Advisor, Professor Ron Eder. Amelia DeForce, PhD in biology, molecular cell, and organismal biology. Dissertation title is Archaeal Diversity and Potential Functions in Soil Ecosystems. Advisor is Professor Mike Shieris. Wei Huang, PhD in Environmental Sciences, Department of Environmental, Earth, and Ocean Sciences. Dissertation title is Transport and Transformation of Chromophoric Dissolved Organic Matter from Land to Ocean. PhD is, advisor, Professor Bob Chen. Christian Kraft-Forst, PhD in Environmental Sciences. Dissertation title is The Distribution and Comparative Biogeochemistry of Silver with Other Select Trace Metals in Coastal Waters near Massachusetts. Advisor is Professor Bob Chen. Aditya Kulkarni, PhD in Green Chemistry. Dissertation title, Application of Heterogeneous Catalytic Processes for the Synthesis and Functionalization of Biologically Active Heterocycles and Fine Chemicals. Advisor is Professor Bela Turak. Catherine La Comar, PhD in Environmental Biology. Dissertation title is The Conservation and Habitat Ecology of Antillean Manatees, Trichechus manatus, in the Drowned Keys area of Belize, Central America. And I hope I got that right. Dong Zhang, PhD in green chemistry. Dissertation title is The Systematic Study of the Positional Analysis of Triglycerides Using High-Performance Liquid Chromatography and Electrospray Tandem Mass Spectrometry. Advisor is Jason Evans. Jun Zhu, PhD in Environmental Sciences. Dissertation title is Geochemical and Geospatial Studies of Sediment Accumulation and Carbon Burial in the Lower Hudson River Estuary and its implications for the global carbon cycle. Advisor is Curtis Olson. Congratulations.
Will all doctoral candidates please rise? Chancellor Motley, Provost Langley, and honored guests, I present to you the 2 candidates for the Doctor of Nursing Practice degree, the 12 candidates for the Doctor of Education degree, and the 30 candidates for the Doctor of Philosophy degree.
Chancellor Motley, it is my honor to confer on you the hood of Doctor of Education, Doctor of Nursing Practice, or Doctor of Philosophy, as recommended by the faculty of the University of Massachusetts, Boston. Congratulations. I welcome you to the Fellowship of Scholars as your faculties, colleagues, and peers. Will the doctoral candidates please turn and face the audience and give a round of applause to family, friends, and faculty who have helped you to be here today.
I've just learned that there was one person who was not called to the stage, and we would like to do that now. Would Andrew Grosofsky please come back?
Well, better late than never, and we need to make these things right if there's a mistake, and I'm very pleased to call for his hooding Franco Palla, who will be receiving a PhD in environmental sciences. Franco's dissertation title is The Validation and Application of a Chemical Equilibrium Model for Interpreting the Interdependence Between Free Copper Ion Activity and Sedimentary Copper-Organic Carbon Ratio in the Coastal Marine Environment, and his advisor is Professor Bob Chen.
I now have the great pleasure of introducing to you your student speaker. Jamie Kirsch grew up in Pringle, South Dakota. She joined the United States Army in November of 2000 and was deployed to Kuwait shortly after September 11th. She spent just over a year in Kuwait and Iraq, where she conducted operations in checkpoint and base security. Upon return to the United States, Jamie began her academic career at St. Cloud State University in Minnesota. There she studied political science and criminal justice. Just before graduating, Jamie was deployed again to Iraq in 2007 to fulfill the role of battle non-commissioned officer in charge of night flight operations in Balad, Iraq. She graduated with her bachelor's degree in political science while on deployment and received 3 Army Commendation Medals, 2 Achievement Medals, and 2 unit citations for excellence. After 18 months on active military duty, Jamie returned to the United States to start her master's education at UMass Boston in the Department of Conflict Resolution, Human Security, and Global Governance. This past January, Jamie traveled to Afghanistan, where she conducted research on the successes associated with and the challenges faced by provincial reconstruction teams, an effort on the part of the U.S. military to partner with civilian agencies to win over the support of the Afghan populace. And she looked closely at some of the dilemmas of trying to bring about rapid social change within rural Afghan communities. Throughout her life, Jamie has spent a significant amount of her time working with various charities and nonprofit organizations. She served with AmeriCorps for a year, where she worked with children who had experienced physical and emotional abuse. She worked for a refugee collaborative, where she helped Somali refugees find employment and housing, and participated in English language instruction and worked on community education and cultural awareness. She also spent 4 years working with the Red Cross as an HIV/AIDS educator. Jamie is graduating with her master's in conflict resolution with an emphasis on addressing international conflict. She's recently been awarded a 2-year Presidential Management Fellowship. This is a leadership development program for advanced degree candidates designed to develop a cadre of potential government leaders. Jamie will be working for the U.S. State Department. I'm pleased to introduce to you your speaker, Jamie Kirsch.
Thank you, everyone, and good afternoon. I would first like to congratulate all of the newly hooded doctoral candidates and to the soon-to-be master's graduates. I would also like to thank all of you who are here to show your support for those of us who have worked so hard these past few years. I'm so proud to share this moment with all of you and your families. I know our paths to get to this moment look different, and I appreciate having the opportunity to tell you about my path. My story begins with growing up in the elk capital of South Dakota. Pringle is a small town where the population is 93, and this week's big news is that Dolly's cattle not only trampled the neighbor's fence, but uprooted a few of his prize trees. Standing before you today is the culmination of many difficult decisions. I am far from where I started, a small town in the Midwest. My academic career began with what I feel is probably the most difficult decision I have ever had to make. During my first semester of college, I was told that I would not be able to return for the following semester because of financial difficulties. From a very young age, going to college was the only thing that I knew I was going to do. The realization that finances could prevent me from doing what it was that I wanted to do forced me to make some hard choices. While Pringle is the elk capital of South Dakota, it is certainly not the job capital of South Dakota. I did not know how I was going to find the financial resources to complete the undergraduate education I so desperately wanted. So in a moment of clarity, I called my mother and asked her to give me a number for a military recruiter. 3 days later, I was the newest member of the United States Army Reserves, and shortly thereafter, I was on my way to Fort Leonard Wood, where, while I was dragging my body through muddied obstacle courses, I questioned my earlier so-called clarity. Had someone asked me before graduating from high school if I was going to join the military, I would have laughed in their face. You can't imagine a person more unsuited for the military. I had never run more than a mile in my life, and for that matter, what's a push-up? Not to mention the fact that I'm a vegetarian and had never fired a weapon before. After the events of September 11, 2001, I knew I would be deployed. And sure enough, 5 months later, I received notice that I had just 3 days to report for duty. Not much later, I was in the burning desert of Iraq in a tent with 30 other women washing my uniforms in plastic buckets. On one particular day, while manning a checkpoint, a large tour bus limped its way to our guard shack and sputtered to a stop. The bus, full of wearied passengers, had an issue with one of its wheels. The male Iranian passengers filed out of the bus and congregated around the wheel, brainstorming what to do next. When it was deemed that nothing could be done about the wheel, they motioned to the women and children that they could get off the bus. As soon as the door was opened, 2 young girls rushed towards me bearing gifts of fruit, juice, and candy. I was completely caught off guard, and I had little to offer the young women in return. I remember that my grandmother had sent me a guardian angel pin that was attached to my backpack. I took the pin and fastened it to one of the young women's hijabs. You would have thought that I had personally signed the peace agreement to end all conflict in the Middle East. When I looked up, all 70 passengers of the bus were cheering and clapping, and then I proceeded to pose for what seemed like 300 pictures. What struck me most about this experience was that although I was clad in an Army uniform accessorized with a grenade launcher and Kevlar, these 2 young women approached me with open arms and wide grins. While I didn't realize it then, these young Iranian girls ultimately became my motivation to get my graduate degree in conflict resolution. I had many other experiences throughout my military career like this, moments that challenged my understanding of how the world worked. I could have let these moments pass. Instead, they informed my decision to dedicate my career to bridging cultures and resolving disputes. After returning to the U.S., I needed something to help me understand what it was that I had experienced in my 8 years with the U.S. military. While searching for what I should do next with my life, I discovered the conflict resolution program at UMass Boston. My time at UMass has served as a link between my unlikely military experience and my equally unlikely future career path. It gave meaning to experience I could have ended up resenting without having had the opportunity to reconcile my role in the military with my own individual identity. UMass has given me the tools to reconceptualize my past from what could have been a barrier and into what is now a stepping stone into a successful career. Armed with the tools of conflict resolution, this past spring, I made the decision to conduct research in Afghanistan for my master's project. This was an opportunity where I was finally able to combine my previous experience in the military with my current graduate training. I met with Afghan community members, spoke with Afghan government officials, and even managed to interview a U.S. military commander, this time without my grenade launcher or the Kevlar. Reflecting upon my research, ironically, I was able to accomplish much more armed with the tools of conflict resolution than I was under the protection of a grenade launcher. Connecting with humans without the weapon strapped across my chest is an entirely different experience. I owe those 2 young women a great debt of gratitude for initially opening my eyes to this lesson. All of us have had experiences in our lives that have informed our sometimes difficult decision to complete a degree in higher education. While your experiences may not have looked like mine, you've each been through your own journey. We all know that it certainly was not an easy task to get to this point today. However, despite where we may have come from and the roadblocks we may have faced, we are a product of the tough decisions we've had to make. We can all relate to hectic work schedules and school schedules that have led to sacrifices such as missing holidays with our family, late nights finishing up a paper, or early mornings going to a second job to make ends meet. All of these sacrifices have made it possible for us to be together here today. It is a fact that we will face many other challenges where once again we will be forced to make difficult decisions. However, through the learning process of acquiring a higher education, we have come to the realization that although we make decisions every day, it is the decisions that challenge us that make us who we are. Many of the decisions we have made in our lives were made with the support of friends and family. I would like to take this time to thank my family. To my father, thank you for teaching me what personal initiative really means and for suffering through hour-long telephone calls editing term papers. To my mom, Your never-ending emotional support will always be my rock. To my friends and colleagues, thank you for enriching my life and making me a better person. And finally, thank you to the conflict resolution faculty, specifically to Ronnie Lipton and Anne Rugnetta for helping me find my way through my past experiences to my future endeavors. Congratulations once again to everybody, and thank you.
I want to present Jamie with a certificate acknowledging her role in the 2011 convocation.
It is now my pleasure to present the recipients of academic honors in our graduate programs. These awards will be conferred by the deans, directors, and representatives of our graduate units. Please refer to your program for remarks about each award winners. Individual programs may have additional awards, too, that have been awarded at other events. Will Felicia Wilczynski please come forward, the Dean of the College of Education and Human Development? The award for Outstanding Achievement in Family Therapy goes to Sabrina Ascari and is presented by Sharon Lamb. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Rehabilitation Counseling is awarded to Andrea Robbins-Carreau, presented by Professor Molly Shop. The award for Outstanding Achievement in School Guidance Counseling is awarded to Carly Holbrook and is presented by Sharon Lamb. The award, the Critical and Creative Thinking Award for Personal and Professional Development, is awarded to Julie Johnstone and is presented by Professor Peter Taylor. The Dolores Gallo Award for Creative Development and Outreach is presented to Vanessa Chiampa Brewer and is presented by Professor Peter Taylor. The award for Excellence in Educational Administration is presented to Eleanor Rounds and is presented by Professor Ray Shurtleff. The Instructional Design Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Patrick J. Hayden and is presented by Professor Judith Erdman. The award for Outstanding Achievement in School Psychology is awarded to Pakde Chea Yus and is presented by Professor Virginia Smith Harvey. The Vincent Christiani Award for Leadership in School Psychology is awarded to Elizabeth McKay and is presented by Professor Virginia Harvey. The award for Outstanding Scholarship in Special Education is awarded to Jennifer Garcia and is presented by Professor Christopher Denning. The Vision Studies Award for Academic Excellence in Orientation and Mobility is awarded to David Furland and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. The ICI Vision Studies Award for Academic Excellence as a Teacher of Students with Visual Impairments is presented to Jenny Bolton and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. The ICI Vision Studies Award for Academic Excellence in Vision Rehabilitation Therapy is awarded to Brianne Killeran and is presented by Professor Laura Bozeman. The Teacher Education Program Award for Excellence in Early Childhood Education is presented to Sarah Manoli and is presented by Professor Stone McDonald. The Teacher Education Program Award for Excellence in Elementary Education is presented to Laurel Woodward and is presented by Professor Jack Levy. The Teacher Education Program Award for Excellence in Middle Secondary Education is presented to Leah Goldberg and is presented by Professor Lisa Gonsalves. Will Donna Kaisinger, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, please come to the stage? The American Studies Award for Academic Excellence is presented to Anastasia Carolina and is presented by Professor Judith Smith. The award for academic excellence in applied linguistics is awarded to Rhonda Zalesny Green and is presented by Professor Panyota Gonyari. The Clinical Psychology Book Award is awarded to Jessica Graham and is presented by Professor Karen Suyamoto. The Maxwell J. Schleifer Memorial Prize is awarded to Sarah Gray and is presented by Professor Karen Tsuyamoto. The Creative Writing Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Jonathan Pappas and is presented by Professor John Fulton. The English Program Award for Outstanding Achievement is presented to Shanna O'Berry and is presented by Professor Cheryl Nixon. The Anne E. Berthoff Prize for Excellence in Composition Studies is awarded to Gregory Johns and is presented by Professor Cheryl Nixon. The David A. Kennedy Prize for Outstanding Work in the Field of Poetry is presented to Michelle Harris by Professor John Fulton. The Alvin S. Ryan Award for the Best Literature Paper is presented to Casey Fodness and is presented by Professor Cheryl Nixon. The Robert Crossley Award is presented to C. Macaulay Ward, Jr. and is presented by Professor Cheryl Nixon. The Barbara Ludke Book Award for Academic Excellence in Historical Archaeology is presented to Catherine Catlin and is presented by Professor Stephen Silliman. The Award for Academic Excellence in Applied Sociology is awarded to Kate Russell and is presented by Professor Stephanie Hartwell. The James E. Blackwell Prize in Applied Sociology is presented to Stephanie Lloyd and is presented by Professor Stephanie Hartwell. Will Philip Qualieri, Dean of the College of Management, please come to the stage? The Masters of Science Award for Academic Excellence in Accounting is awarded to Yume Leng and is presented by Professor Arthur Goldsmith. The Masters of Business Administration Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Michelle Galotto and is presented by Professor Goldsmith. The Master of Science in Finance Award for Academic Excellence is awarded to Nicholas Pritzio and is awarded by Professor Arthur Goldsmith. The award for excellence in the Masters of Science in International Management is awarded to Amanda Cather and is presented by Professor Arthur Goldsmith. The award for outstanding achievement in the Masters of Science Information Technology program is awarded to Risha Maiden and is presented by Professor Arthur Goldsmith. Will Greer Glazer, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, please come to the stage? The award for academic excellence in the Nursing Master of Science program is awarded to Gail Alexander and is presented by Professor Karen Dick. Or Amy Rex Smith. The award for academic excellence in nursing. The award for academic excellence in nursing PhD program is awarded to Kathleen Hickson and is presented by Professor Laura Heyman. The award for academic excellence in nursing DMP program is awarded to Patricia Helen and is presented by Professor Karen Dick. Will Dean Stephen Crosby, Dean of the McCormick Graduate School of Policy, Global and Policy Studies, please come to the stage? The award for outstanding achievement in conflict resolution is awarded to Jamie Kirsch and is presented by Professor Eben Weitzman. The Gerontology Award for Outstanding Achievement is awarded to Andrea Tull and is presented by Professor Jan Muchler. The Richard A. Hogarty Award for Academic Excellence in Public Affairs is awarded to Story Reed and is presented by Professor Connie Chan. The Masters of Science in Public Affairs International Relations Academic Excellence Award is awarded to Jennifer Norrens and is presented by Professor Robert Weiner. The award for excellence in public policy is awarded to Rebecca Morrill and is presented by Professor Michael Johnson. Will Karoy Ferguson, Dean of the College of Public and Community Service, please come to the stage? The award for excellence in human services is awarded to Carrie Endicott and is presented by Dean Karori Ferguson. Will Andrew Grosowski, Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, please come to the stage? The Bettina Harrison Award for Outstanding Teaching in Biology is awarded to Daniel Trask and is presented by Professor Michael Sharris. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Environmental Biology, PhD, is awarded to Elizabeth Boyle and is presented by Professor Michael Sharris. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Molecular, Cellular, and Organismal Biology is awarded to Amelia DeForce and is presented by Professor Michael Sharris. The Chemistry Program Award for Outstanding Achievement at the master's level is awarded to Jackie Shan Ding and is presented by Professor Evans. The Green Chemistry Program Award for Outstanding Achievement at the PhD is awarded to Dmitry Borkin and is presented by Professor Jason Evans. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Computer Science is awarded to Roseanne Vitro and is presented by Professor Peter Fayer. The award for Outstanding Academic Achievement in Environmental, Earth, and Coastal Sciences, PhD, is awarded to Jun Zhu and is presented by, not Professor Curtis Olson. And you are? Ellen Douglas, thank you. The Applied Physics Program Award for Excellence is awarded to Andrew Kohler and is presented by Professor Steve Arneson.
Well, I think you have a sense of the rich and varied contributions of the wonderful students that are graduating with graduate degrees this year. Before I bring the 2011 convocation ceremony to a close, I want to tell the students that your faculty mentors have written wonderful biographical sketches of all the award winners, and those will soon be up on the Graduate Studies website. We were hoping to have them up before the ceremony, but the university is upgrading its web architecture, and so there are some changes that are going on, but I think in the very near future you'll be able to log on to the website and see very nice biographical sketches written of all of you. So please check that in a few weeks. This brings the 2011 convocation ceremony to a close. You are all invited to join us for a reception downstairs in the cafeteria. Congratulations once again to everyone.
Never would have made it. Never could have made it without you. I would have lost it all.